As you can tell, we have some of the finest seniors in SAISD just by looking at their demeanor. These two young people, Tye Woodard and Jonesha Webster, are seniors at Lakeview High School and leaders in the JROTC program, which just had a perfect inspection by your annual inspection, and Central had one as well and did fabulously also. And I've been bragging about you, and now we get to know two of these leaders a little bit better here. Thank y'all for coming. And I personally I know you now just a little bit, Jonesha a little better because I met you some time ago. But you two, in order to become a leader of JROTC, you've got to take care of business with your schoolwork. You've got to, your peers help decide this. You are not just chosen by a superintendent. Your peers help, so you've earned their respect. And what a lot of people don't know, and I have learned over the last decade having JROTC programs, is you all are, a lot more is required of you. You have to keep your grades high. You have to allow people to guide you. You have leaders, adult leaders and student leaders, so you follow rules and you help. One of the greatest things about JROTC is that you mentor each other and help, especially newcomers to ROTC, learn to make good decisions without adults inflicting decisions. You all you guide each other and help each other to learn how to make good decisions. Now that's a very brief capsule of what I see. And you all also stay physically, you take care of yourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
You learn to eat right, you learn to you discipline yourself about physical exercise, and you're just leaders on your campus and are doing community service by the hundreds of hours. So you're you're unselfish. You don't just take care of yourselves. Let's go back just a little bit, and first off, tell me, did you all grow up in San Angelo? Tye?
I actually grew up in San Antonio for most of my life.
When did you come here to San Angelo?
I think when I was about 12, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I got here for the last 3 weeks of elementary school, and then I went straight to Lincoln.
So middle and high school, you've been in our district.
Yes, ma'am.
And
same for me. I came middle and high school.
Oh, okay.
We both came from San Antonio. So.
Now did you know each other?
No, ma'am.
Well, I'll be.
Big city.
Now, tell me, why in the world would young people nowadays decide to be part of an organization that is strict and has lots of requirements that takes up a lot of time? Why would you do that?
Well, when they see us, they don't just look at it as JROTC, because we're more of family type. We treat each other, we look after each other, and they see that. We bond like brothers and sisters. So.
It's just like the real military. Like for instance, if you look at the Marines, regular people just see people getting yelled at and them doing extreme physical activity and doing things that you would think no normal human would want to do. But the people in the actual Marine Corps, they know what it's like on the inside. They know that it's one of the strongest family bonds that you could ever have.
Well, you alluded a few minutes ago that you help each other make wise choices, but you also have fun together. You all plan. while you're working hard, doing community service, staying after for physical training that you all do with all the push-up type things that you have to sweat, you're also planning fun in there, and so you do become friends and support like a family, Janisha, you were just referring to. So you were interested in the military aspects, but also the part of being a part of something, as she talked about?
Yes, ma'am. My grandfather was in the Air Force, and more closely related to me, my older brother was in JROTC when he was in high school in San Antonio at Southside. And so I was little and I didn't really know much about it, but I would see him kind of in his uniform sometimes. I would see pictures of him, and I always kind of wondered what it was. And then my mom eventually told me when I got into high school to just give it a shot. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like boot camp, that they were training us to go into the military, which is a misconception a lot of people seem to have. And then I got into it, and it just changed me.
Was it hard at first to adjust? Because y'all do have more rules.
Well, I can answer that one, yes. Yes, ma'am, it was. At first, I've never been just a bad child, but I wasn't as, what's the word?
Disciplined?
As disciplined strongly. Now, you see, you met my mom before, so
yes.
you know her. So when I first joined, I didn't give it as all as I could, but then I started looking at other students coming in that needed help, and that's the type of thing I like to do. I like to help people
yes, you do.
get
I've
stronger.
Seen that.
And by that I said, well, that's something that I'm interested in, you know, and the only way that I can do that is if I better myself. So it made me start.
And that's something we haven't talked about. You all go to lots of leadership. You have lots of leadership training about the different character traits and behaviors that a leader, to be a good leader, must have in today's society, not just for the military. What do you have a ballpark figure of how many you all are going to graduate in a few months? What percentage of your class, ROTC members, are going to go on into either straight into the military or to college ROTC? Do you have a ballpark?
I don't know an exact number, but a lot of my friends in ROTC either want to go into the Marines, or a lot of people from last year went into the Air Force. A lot of people, actually, that's probably one of the main reasons most people join ROTC is because they're planning on going into the military.
And what advantage, besides just understanding what's somewhat is expected of you, what advantage is it if you do aspire to go into the military, is it to have been in JROTC?
You learn to work by yourself. You learn to lead. You have leadership abilities. You know how to organize, coordinate. It teaches you a lot of stuff like that.
And the military's going to expect that of you no matter which branch you go in, isn't it? What do you two, are your plans right now for next year? Janisha, what about you?
Well, as I said, I want to help people, so I want to go to Houston-Tillotson, and I want to be a psychologist. I want to major for that. And then I want to go into the Air Force and do that. In the Air Force.
Way to go. So will you have done basic training before going to college, or do you not sign up for anything before going on and getting your college?
I will not sign up for go through college and finish that, graduate.
Do you have people in your family that are in the military or were in the military?
My dad was in the Army.
Okay. And what do you plan to do, Tye, next year?
I plan on going to ASU and doing video game development. And I'm still debating on whether or not I want to join the Air Force after college, but I'm starting to lean more towards it.
Well, we have a great technology program that you've probably been taking classes, have you?
I haven't taken any video game classes whatsoever.
But what about technology classes? Have you taken some of those in high school?
I took the basic required one.
Okay.
Because I already know kind of a lot, and the class I did take, I was ahead of everybody.
I'm sure, I bet.
Like, I was just kind of bored, so I didn't
Okay.
bother taking any of the other ones.
Okay.
But I have taken BCIS.
Okay.
That's the basic one.
Right. But you already know you like stuff to do with technology.
Yes, I like to. Well, what I wanted to do is, I have a very vivid imagination, and I like to write, and I like to
You're
draw.
creative.
Yes, and I also love video games and technology, so I figured, why can't I put both of them together?
There's no reason you can't. So you all are good students and will be successful in the classes that you aspire to take. And I'm not surprised knowing you longer, Jonesha, that you are going to go into a field where you can help somebody. That doesn't surprise me a lick. Good for you. And I hope that you will both take advantage of courses that you enjoy, and there's no reason not to nowadays. There's so many offerings for young people that I didn't have back many decades ago. All right, what has meant the most to you? And I know there are a lot of things. Besides the bonds you have made of friendship, what about JR being a part of this award-winning program at Lakeview do you think has impacted your life?
For me, it's definitely the instructors, because when I first met Sergeant Wheeler, Sergeant Mantell, and Major Harris, they scared me. I thought I thought I was gonna walk in and see like Major Payne and people screaming at me all the time, but they're nothing like that. They're very caring. Those are the most caring teachers I've ever met in my life. They will push you as far as you can go and then farther, because they know what each and every person can do, and they will not accept I can't or no, I can't do this as an answer. They will push you, and that has changed me forever.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. I love all three of those and greatly respect them. And what I observe up close and from afar is how much they genuinely care about each child.
Yes, they
And
do.
they're not trying to make little soldiers. They're trying to mold lives and help you, Tye and Jonesha, realize how much you're capable of doing.
They're helping me now with going to college and getting my financial aid and stuff like that. So it's like they're like the other parents when I'm not at home. It's like that second home right there.
Well, and a lot of kids, don't have that, aren't a part of something. I feel sad when a child graduates from high school and hasn't been a part of something, whether it's the band or the choir or a football team or the debate team, and doesn't have the happy memories. What's something that your ROTC group has done for the community that was particularly meaningful to you? What, maybe it was an activity or a project.
Well, right now, we can speak on it right now for Christmas. Our Toys for Tots, helping the children. We donate toys, and how many cadets is it that bring toys?
Oh, like
I think it's about
at least 75% of the Corps.
brings toys for the children and the homeless children that need help. So that's something touching. I love that, to help kids.
And your group, as well as Central's ROTC, puts other organizations to shame on how many hours of your year you all are giving to help make people's lives, the quality of their life, better. And when you all go to help, you're there from the beginning till the end. Y'all aren't escapers and evaders. What other activity? What is one type besides the Toys for Tots that y'all are doing right now that you've enjoyed?
Mine's not a single event. Mine would just have to be the color guards, honestly, because being a part of a color guard isn't just you carrying a rifle or you carrying a flag. It's you are guarding what our country stands for, and you get to see the faces of all those veterans or people who have family members overseas fighting for what we get to enjoy every day, and you just get to see their faces just light up, and just being a part of that is just great.
You know, when a young person learns that, to be grateful for what has been given to us that we take for granted, if you learn it at a young age, it stays with you the rest of your life usually. Well, you all have enjoyed your relationships with your fellow cadets. You've enjoyed working under 3 of the finest adults, your leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't have, if you could redo JROTC, even one part of it, what could make it better? That's a surprise question.
I'd have to go with your idea and make everybody go through it.
And that is correct. And I would have to agree with Mr. Woodard, because it would be great if it was required, like that you had to take like BCIS health and speech, it would be wonderful.
Well, our audience doesn't know that before we started this interview, I said that if I could redesign what a graduate had to have besides math, English, social studies, and science, I wish every child would choose to go through this program because of the leadership, the self-confidence, learning how to set a goal and meet a goal without quitting, learning how to support your fellow man that you will never forget the rest of your life. I wish every young person, knowing full well I can't require that, but that's interesting. You wish everybody could have had this experience because of how meaningful it's been. Wow. Well, I can't imagine a finer 2 young people than you, and I hope and pray that you are around in my world in future years so I can watch what you continue to do to make our world better. I know you are. Thank y'all so much for coming, and best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We enjoyed this.